Alright, we're making another video on the Empire sleigh. Already fixed the broken part. Got the lac kit in it, if you remember from the other videos. Now what I'm going to focus on is the fixing the runners right there. But first, if you look on the bottom where the holes are to mount the runners, this one had some plastic broken out, so instead of welding or gluing another piece of plastic in there, I used this stuff. It's Otay brand Fix-It Stick. You can get it at Home Depot or Lowe's in the plumbing section. It's a putty. You just take it out of the tube. It comes in a stick like that. Peel the outside paper off of it, and it's a putty. The outside layer that's covered by this paper is a light gray, and then the inside's dark. You just knead it for a few minutes till it is all the same color, and just tear off a little piece and just knead it back and forth, and then you can go in from the inside and shape it to whatever you need to patch, which if you look right there, whoops, if you look right there, you can see it on the inside. Once you just kind of take your thumb and press it down onto the plastic, then as it cures, it adheres to the plastic, so it's stuck to the plastic and it will not come off. And it is hard. You can drill it, as you can see I did here. Drilled a hole through for the bolt. As you can see, it's hard. It won't break off unless you hit it really hard with something directly on it. This I didn't smooth out too much on the outside, but you know, it's on the bottom, so it doesn't really matter. If you do wind up using this Otay stick, just remember that light doesn't shine through it, so you wouldn't want to use it up on the sides or somewhere that's lit up that people will actually see. But it's fine to use on the bottom. It's actually stronger than the plastic is. So what I did, figured out exactly where to drill it. I just put a bolt through this back hole, attached it to the hole right there, and then kind of guesstimated where to make that hole in relation to this hole where the bolt's going to go through. And then I just took a drill just slightly larger than my bolt and drilled a hole through there, and it should be good to go. Now when you get to these runners, this one is good. It's still straight, as you can see. It's not broken anywhere. Unfortunately, I just have the one that's good, that's not broken. I have one broken pieces of one there, and then I had this one excuse me, that was broken here, and it was broken over here. And to fix it, I just got these little metal plates from Lowe's. They already come with two holes drilled in them. On this piece, it's so narrow that I had to drill extra holes to the side a little bit to get it more in the center of this flat part of the plastic. If you're really OCD or something, you could take a grinder or something and kind of grind this piece out here off, if if it bothers you. But this is going to be underneath the sleigh, so it won't be lit and it won't be real noticeable anyway, so I'm not going to worry about it. Plus I'm going to sell this sleigh, so whoever buys it can do what they want to with it. You can see back here I use the holes that were already in it. I put one on each side, and I epoxied underneath there before I clamped it together. It just takes 2 bolts for each one. I got lock washers under each nut, and then 2 nuts on this side. Make sure if you got more than one brake, put the bolt sticking through on the same side, so you can use this one on the right side of the sleigh, and people won't see the bolt sticking out. If you put it on that way on the outside, see, it's pretty noticeable. But you can also take this cutting attachment on the Dremel and cut those off if you want to. You can also get some spray paint that's closer to this color, that's not shiny like this metal is, and spray it onto a piece of cardboard or something, and then use a Q-tip or a small paintbrush and kind of dab some paint on there to dull it if you want to. But I don't think it's going to be necessary because, like I said, it's going to be underneath the sleigh. It's going to be a part that's dark, so unless somebody's within about 5 feet or less, they won't even notice that, especially at night when it's lit up. So if you've seen one of these sleighs, you know that they have 2 runners, and the bolts come up through here and through the bottom of the sleigh, and then they're bolted from inside the sleigh. And in between them, to kind of give them a little strength, these are the factory metal rods that were on there that I had to cut off to get them off. I'm going to put my camera on this holder for a minute, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I have these metal rods with these little caps on the end that are a royal pain to get off, so I had to wind up cutting one off of each end to get them apart. They sit in there. Actually, they go through here. Not sure if you can see that or not. Let me turn the camera a little bit. I got the cap on the outside, and then you slide this piece of plastic on there, and then slide the end of the rod out, and you'll have another cap on there, and it'll hold them. It'll keep them straighter. It won't keep them perfectly straight, but it's better than nothing. And so, since I can't find any of these rods that are this size, I had to go to Home Depot and buy some of this rod. It's threaded all the way. It's just slightly bigger than that. So what I'm going to do to put this on there is I'm going to put a nut on there. Then I moved the holes that I'm going to attach it through up here, because they won't fit through these parts where the original ones went. So I drilled matching holes here and 2 up on the front. So all you do is take one of these, screw a nut on there, put a lock washer on there, slide it through one side, you may have to actually thread it through there part way, because my drill bit is pretty much the same size as the rod. So you just do that till it's tight, take the little rubber piece, slide it over that, and then you'll run this through the hole on this side. You're going to be, the holes on the bottom of the sleigh are about 9 inches apart, and this black piece is a little under 9 inches. So as long as you got them about 8 3/4 to 9 inches, you'll be okay. And then slide another lock washer on there. Then you're going to thread a bolt all the way down. I'm not going to thread it all the way on there because I'm going to have to take this back apart again. So you just thread it all the way down there, get both sides tight, and then take your cutting tool or a hacksaw or something and leave about 1/2 inch, 1/4 to 1/2 inch sticking out past the bolt, the nut, and then cut this excess off. Then you can do the same thing with the paint if you wanted to do it for that. Find some gold paint, spray it on a piece of cardboard, take a Q-tip or a small paintbrush and just kind of get paint on it to where it's not as noticeable. And do that back here, and then you'll do it up there on the front where those holes are. And I forgot to mention that when I got this runner, as you can tell, it's kind of warped, but it was warped a whole lot worse than that before I bolted it back together. So what I did after I got the pieces bolted back together, I just laid it on here and got some bricks, and where the worst part of the bends were, like right in here, up here, and I think down here, I put the bricks on there to hold it down flat and left it for a couple of days, and it came out. It's not perfect by any means, but considering it didn't cost me, let's see, for these rods and nuts and bolts, it was $5.78 for these brackets and bolts and nuts and lock washers that are on here. It was about, I think, about $6 or $7 for all 4 of them. Or no, I'm sorry, for 4 brackets and then 2 bolts, 2 for each one. So for $15 to $20, I fixed it. It'll be usable for a long time, as long as nobody drops it or something like that and breaks it again. But these brakes will not break again. It's just an option, because if you find a pair of these original ones, chances are they're going to be warped, and if they're not, they're going to be, $50 to $100. If you can find them cheaper than that, buy them, because you'll rarely see them, number one, and if you do, like I said, they will be expensive. Another option you can do is, if you have one that's it's either in good shape, or if you have all the pieces to it, you can get a piece of plywood, and that's what somebody did with these. They just kind of used the basic outline of the factory ones and cut it out of plywood. It's not exact, but it's, it looks okay, especially at night, and it's not going to be lit up. And unless somebody gets within 20 feet or 10, I'd say more than 10 feet away, you're not going to be able to tell that this is made out of plywood. So that's something to think about too. You can get, depending on how thick the plywood is. It's not that expensive. I just use some wood dowels in there, cut them off as wide as they needed, and then ran screws into it right there and there, and drilled holes to go up through the bottom of the sleigh. Right there, there's 4 holes. And when you bolt it from the inside, when you put the nuts on there, put a flat washer and a lock washer on the inside, and then put the nut on there. That way you can tighten it up once and it won't come loose. Plus the flat washer will help spread the pressure out from just being a nut and a lock washer, little bitty one. You can get flat washers this big if you want to, or you can get little ones, and it will spread the pressure out, and you won't crack and break the plastic around the factory holes there. But I think that's about it for this video. So if you like it, click the like button. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. I'll have more videos coming out over the next few months. This is my repair shelves, the ones that I'm going to have to do some kind of repairs to. Got a few down there. I've got a few reindeer up there that have some minor flaws on where the mounts attach, the stands. And then I've got some Polaron deer that I use, some of them I have to do some repairs on too. It's taken me 4 years to get enough Polaron deer for my 2 Polaron sleighs. And I've got the mechanical sleigh there. That's in good shape. It didn't have any brakes or anything. It's got a good set of runners to go with it. It's got a good, Santa Claus is in good shape. The Santa Claus right there goes to a train. But as you can see there, I've got 2 that the part of his cap is broken right there. This one, I used those pellets, those plastic pellets that you heat in hot water and then kind of mold it. Well, I've got some more work to do with this one. I got to heat it and try and stretch it out some and thin it down and see how that comes out. If it doesn't work, I'll take all this stuff off and figure out some way to mold a piece of plastic to the ball shape and go from the inside and weld it and epoxy it into place. But anyway, I'll make a video when I do those guys. Probably a few more videos on some of these other ones that are unique. See, I've got a few blow molds. Up there. But like I said, if you liked the video, click the like button and subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching.